Welcome back to Talking Turf podcast show. Coming up, you have got a look back at the last weekend's Premier League fixtures, a look ahead to next weekend's Premier League fixtures, a bit of transfer news, and also our new feature, the Fantasy Premier League, for those who joined. You've got a minute, go and grab a pint, like, especially share, and comment and get involved in the show. See you soon. Harry, Gary, lad.
Yay, what's going on?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
I can hear you loud and clear. What a weekend of football, mate. Absolutely unbelievable. We'll start off with the Premier League down in Brighton, obviously. It finished Brighton 2, Man United 1. Danny Welbeck opened the score, and who else would it be apart from Danny Welbeck? Rashford had a goal disallowed just before half-time. Diallo equalised for an assist from Missouri, by the way. Another goal disallowed, Xerxes. And then breaking my hearts in the 95th minute was João Pedro. How did you see it, Gan, mate?
I mean, first off, I thought we were much, much better than what we have been. Obviously, when you're watching it in the stadium, it's like totally different to watching it on the telly. But we could see from where seats that the press was working, having that extra man in the midfield. I think it complements Casemiro a lot better, and it just worked. I thought it was, like I say, it was much better. We should have been in front come half time. And again, when we're on top, I said to you, didn't I, at the game, I says, we're on top here, but we need to score. And I could just feel it coming. They get the goal, and then we'll go in 1-0 down. I don't know, did Mount go off injured? Or I haven't seen much about it. Mm-hmm. Injured again, like, I mean, we both said we thought he was excellent in the first. He was everywhere, wasn't he?
Aye.
And he went off, and then I just felt that's where we lost the game, because they looked like they had more in the midfield, and it was too easy to break through it again, wasn't it?
It was. I mirror your thoughts, by the way, mate. Absolutely. I thought, there's a lot of times last season I come away from games and I was absolutely like devastated, because obviously you're traveling, like, you're putting everything on the line, aren't you? It costs a lot of money, a lot of time, but they weren't even trying. And that's what really, really pissed me off last season. Saturday, honestly, that game, that was the game of football that everybody wants to watch. We're coming to the wrong end of it, fair enough. But that is how you see the Premier League. Two teams gone for it. We could have sat back on the 80th minute and took the draw, as could Brighton, but we didn't. Yep. Both teams were gone for it. And in the end, they got the lucky break and they got the goal. And you know what it is? Hats off to them. I said this last week about Fulham. Fulham went and won at the weekend again. And I'll say the same against Brighton. Brighton have got a good team there. They've got a good outfit. The manager is still like unknown. He's a young kid. He's 31, 32. But so far, so good. I think Newcastle's dropped a massive clanger, letting that Minter gone.
He's good, wasn't he?
He's really good. I think he's going to be absolutely unbelievable. I think he's going to have potentially, like one for our fantasy leagues. But I mean, I'm not going to compare the two, right? Because we've had a lot of banter in that group, the 6-a-side group with Dobie and Pete and Gallen and Dave and that, and Mick. There's a lot of banter going, but judging off the two teams, I'm a lot more optimistic than what I think Newcastle fans should be, because we'll come to Newcastle, but that's worrying, that I think, for Newcastle. I think, like, judging by what we've seen the first two games, if they didn't bring anybody in, there's trouble ahead for them. Like, but going back to Manchester United, excellent. Mason Mount, like you say, in the first half, a lot of press. He went off at half time. It had to be an injury, because if it was anything else, I think there would have been absolute uproar, because he was the one that was doing all the pressing. And people will slate him for taking Bruno Fernandes off and stuff like that. But had we won the game, he would have been seen as a genius. I was praying that we won the game, Gary, because he had the balls to take Bruno off when he hadn't done a lot. You know what I mean? It could have been Bruno or Casemiro. Casemiro was losing it a lot. I think if we get Ugarte in and we're getting the left back, I would even play Martinez the left back and put De Ligt and Maguire in the middle. I've seen enough from that game to be confident. And I tell you what, if we're going to beat the Scousers at the weekend, all's forgiven. We're going into the international break already, which is unbelievable. But I'm interested to see the international break as well. I'll be honest with you, to see how we'll play without Gareth Southgate. So, you know, I'm optimistic for the season for Manchester United. But hey, take note away from Brighton neither, because you know what? They turned up, they give it a go, and they would. You know, like,
no, but fair play to them. I think I mean, on another day, we could have come away with a win. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in football, unfortunately. But like you said, both teams like went for it. We had chances, we didn't take them, and ultimately that's how we've ended up losing that game of football. And that's what it comes down to. But on the goals, for me, it's like, again, it's a ball into the back post, carbon copy, two balls in the same area. Like, I don't like Wan-Bissaka, like he covered that area, like anything that comes from there, and he never lets anything like come back across the line. I don't know how he like see that, but like it's a little worrying that the two goals were like both of them they were crosses from like right to left coming to our right back, wasn't it? So it's probably something they need to look at. Two goals at the back post,
which is Dallo, isn't it?
Well,
the back post, and there's four of them in the right back position, four of them trying to track him down. I just think they've changed the back. I don't know why they took Harry Maguire off. It must have been a knock, because Harry was being absolutely brilliant. You know, like
he won everything, didn't he?
He won everything. You know, and I don't think he would have been forced out. I think he would have stood his position. So De Ligt's still blending in. You know, like I think he needs a run. And the only way you're going to get that is if you drop Dallo and you put Martinez at left back, because he can do it. He's got a left foot. You know, he would be ideal, to be fair, mate. And then put De Ligt and Maguire in the middle. We've
seen him use his left foot, didn't we? We've seen him use his left foot. He crossed it in for that. And still, he crossed the ball in for the head at the back post. Like Ahmad, who should have scored. In the first half, so he can use his left foot, but like I said, at the game, every time he gets the ball and you've got a right foot playing at left back, he wants to come inside, and he opens himself up to the. It's I don't know. I just didn't like it when they do that. He needs to start using his left foot and play with blue. But good win, anyways.
Good win for Brighton, absolutely. Martin Gallen says, "Unlucky lads, thought you might have at least got a point down there." He's winding up. Glory, Man United. Yous aren't massive anymore, says Pete Tate. 3 stages of the Prem Elite: City, Arsenal, Liverpool, NUFC, Aston Villa, Spurs, Brighton, Man United, then the rest. I think he must drink mushrooms for like a cup of tea. He's absolutely mental, honestly. I mean, Arsenal, they're the biggest bottle jobs you'll ever find. Liverpool have won one, and it was the COVID Premier League when nobody was interested in the last 40 years. The only elite team there is City, and the closest to them is Man United. It's as simple as that. And we haven't won the Premier League for 10 years. So, you know what I mean? He's mental. Anyway, Gallen, stop worrying about us, man. We will be okay. We've played shit and got 4 points. Fair dues to you. It's you shouldn't have, though, and we'll come to that, because honestly, that decision's absolutely mental. PSR forcing our hands, says Glenn Essex, who's going to join on the show, actually. In fact, Glenn, if you give her a ring, in fact, no, Glenn, when we start talking about Newcastle, give her a ring, mate. We'll get you on. Sorry, what did he say? Didn't want to sell him or Anderson. And how about you should sell Anthony Gordon? He doesn't want to be there. Kieran Trippier doesn't want to be there. There's plenty of players that didn't want to be there that you could have sold. Anderson's a local kid who wanted to be there, and he was a good player. But you know what he came on? He didn't do a lot wrong. For me,
No,
like that Kelly, you know that Kelly kid. Did you watch him?
Right.
The toon. He didn't do much wrong even. Except it, we are your rivals, not City. They want the rivalry, doing the. I love me. I'll give them the rivalry because obviously from Northumberland, so I love the crack. To be fair, evening lad, says yo, Manda. Evening, Manda. Where's the young left back that you said last week was world class left back? Now you want Martinez put there. Tari Amas. He is very good. Didn't get us wrong, but you've got to bed them in, haven't you? The young ones.
We've got 3 left backs, and they'll seem to be injured, so it's unbelievable.
Leanne saying, can you not watch on YouTube anymore? Yes. It should be on YouTube. You are live, it says here, so you have to go on to Talking Turf, Leanne. Ideally. Yes, sir, says Glenn Essex. Ross Armstrong says, Arid, Mel, Arid, Gary. Hello, Army son, Arid.
Arid.
Dale Redpath. I agree with Peter Tate Jr. We are so far off City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. People doubted Liverpool would clop away. Title contenders for me. Well, you'll be able to judge that better after Sunday, mate, won't you? Because we'll be the first team that they've really had to play, and they're playing at Old Trafford, and that's a good time to judge them because we've got to up a game. We're coming off the back of a defeat, an upsetting defeat, which the players will feel like they didn't deserve to lose. I can see we're being up for it. It's got to be a good game either way. You can't bed them in if you drop them after one game. I couldn't see it on YouTube earlier. Might be on now. I'll have to have a look at that. I can't even find you on YouTube. They've probably been looking at me me account and thinking I'm in with Tommy Robinson or something. Right, let's move on. Let's crack on here. Right. Next game up on the Saturday was Crystal Palace 0, West Ham 2. In my eyes, a good result for West Ham. I'm judging off Crystal Palace at the end of last season. They were absolutely fantastic. I mean, they've lost a couple of players. I thought they would have been stronger still. They've got a good manager. The fans like this new manager. But West Ham's gone down there and they've beaten them 2-0. Thomas Souček scores in the 67th minute, followed by Jared Bowen in the 72nd minute. You know what it is? I like Jared Bowen. He just gets about his business quietly, doesn't he? Obviously, he got dropped from the Euro squad. He's come back in. And, he's relentless, isn't he? He's always there, whether it's an assist or a goal. And he's putting in average performances of 78 every game. He's a decent player, Gary.
No, he is. But on that game, I've watched the highlights back, and I mean, Crystal Palace, to be fair to them, they absolutely battered them in the first half. They hit the crossbar, they hit the post, and that it looked like it come kind of against the run of play. I mean, Eze looked on fire again. I don't understand why no one's went in for him, unless it's a price tag they're putting people off. But Palace will probably feel a little bit hard done by. They look a little bit smash and grabby. It was between 5 and 10 minutes, wasn't it? West Ham get 2 goals, and then
If you look at the possession, obviously the battered them possession 59 to 41%, but goal attempts, West Ham had more. And they had more shots on goal and off goal to what West Ham did. And ultimately, they had more shots, which resulted in goals. And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Aye, well, that's it. It's about finishing your chances, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's where we
top and bottom of it. Yep.
Good win for West Ham, mate. Moving on. Fulham 2, Leicester 1. Again, a good result. Emile Smith-Rowe on his debut at Craven Cottage scores.
Good finish.
David Luiz equalises for Leicester. I mean, Vice.
It does look like a lot, doesn't it?
In the 70th minute, scores for Fulham, giving them all 3 points. So, I mean, to be honest with you, Gary, they look strong at Old Trafford, didn't they?
They're organised, aren't they? That's what I think it is. And you said coming away from the game that you thought that they'll do all right this season. Yeah, I mean, Leicester, I watched them in the first game. They're going to struggle this season, I think. Like, they just don't look like they've got enough to, especially when like the top, say, 10, 12 teams gone, I think they'll get easily beat. But we'll wait and see. You never know, they might strengthen.
They got battered, like, I'm saying they got battered. It was 55 to 45% possession, 18 shots for Fulham, 10 for Leicester. 6 shots on goal, Leicester's 4. To be fair, you know, like, I think there's worse teams in the Premier League than Leicester. I think that they'll probably stay up. I think Everton's nailed on to going down unless some kind of miracle happens. They have looked really bad in the first 2 opening games. And Southampton as well, mate. I think them 2 are nailed on. And then it'll be between, you know, there's a flurry of teams there that could potentially go and do Ipswich, Forest if it starts going bad. Obviously Leicester, like you've mentioned. There's a few there. It's gonna be an interesting season. I mean, then that pulls one to the next one, which is another potential relegation candidate, and that's Ipswich. They went to the blue side of Manchester, took an early lead through Smodics, who come from Blackburn, I believe.
Yeah,
the fans were raving about them, if you remember rightly, when we were on my way back one day. And we hit them a lot. But then Erling Haaland, the freak, who scores a hat-trick, and Kevin De Bruyne scores one as well, making it 4-1 in an easy game, what everybody predicted online last week and also on Last Man Standing. 4-1 win to City. It was obviously, you know, 2 games, 6 points, better start of the season than what they normally do. Are they a title favourites, Gary?
Oh, I've got to be, haven't they? I think if you finish above Man City, you're probably winning the league, I would say. They just seem to, every time where a player leaves and a new one comes in, they just seem to get it right, like most of the time, whereas other teams don't. So it's a recruitment and stuff, isn't it? It's just constantly a little conveyor belt. But you kind of take anything away from them, because it's like, if you like watching football, you cannot not like them. You know what I mean? We'll try our best not like them, but it's good to watch at times, isn't it? So
they play the football that everybody wants to watch, don't they? Once they're to be played.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely battered Ipswich. 76% possession. 14 shots on goals. 14 goal attempts, 5 shots on goal. 4 shots off goal. Ipswich had 2, scoring from 1. So, you know, like, that beds well for them. They've gone to probably the hardest.
Took the lead, like, didn't they?
They
took the lead, didn't they?
They took the lead, aye. So, you know, like, they can score goals. They are attacking. So, you know, like, they're not going to be playing Man City every week. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Which makes me think that they will do all right under Kieran McKenna. And I hope they do, to be fair, mate. Moving on, Southampton 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Seems like a close-knit game. Although Southampton seem to have majority of possession, the goal attempts was 23 for Forest and 5 for Southampton. 8 shots on goal for Forest, 1 for Southampton, and exactly the same for shots off goal. But it ended 1-0 to Southampton to Nottingham Forest. Southampton have had 2 games there, and it looks like, apart from the possession, a lot of possession, it looks like they've been, you know, they couldn't score a goal, like, in a week. You know what I mean? They were playing 10 men Newcastle. They battered them. The goal, you know, the shots on goal was unbelievable. And they still haven't been able to score. They're at home, and the first time that they've been in the Premier League for years, and not against a hard rival, really. You're playing Nottingham Forest. You know, that should have been enough for you to, you know, crack on and have a good game. But, you know, they couldn't even score. So you've got to worry for Southampton.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I mean, Adam Armstrong, obviously, I think he's a good championship player. I just think it looks, obviously, this is his second crack at it, or third, but it just seems to be this step too far. They look like they need someone that's going to put the ball in the back of the net. So it might be interesting to see if they look to maybe strengthen that position this week. You know what I mean? They're going to need something though.
Mike Ashley knows what he's doing, you know. He didn't sell him for nout.
Well, that's it.
Moving on. Tottenham 4, Everton 0. like I said before, Everton were absolutely annihilated. Again. I mean, we played Brighton and they looked good, but they didn't, like they went to Everton the week before and they absolutely battered them at their home ground. And Tottenham's done the same, absolutely battered them. Basuma opened the scoring, and then Son scoring with Romero getting one in the 71st minute, and then Son again in the 77th minute, making it 4-0 to Tottenham Hotspur. 71% possession for Tottenham, 29 for Everton. Plenty of goal attempts, mind, for Everton. 10 there to Tottenham's 13. 7 shots on goal for Spurs, 1 for Everton. Aye. What do you make of that, Gary? It's not looking good.
I think it's going to be a long old season for Everton. Obviously, they sold in on at the Villa, and it doesn't look like they're going to be bringing anyone in. I think they needed that money just for the new stadium, so they could be potentially getting into the Championship with a brand new stadium. It's not great for them, like, is it? I mean, Pickford made an absolute for. You seen it when Son next to ball off him, he's messing around on it, like it just gets from bad to worse for them, I think. But they look favourites to go and do it at the minute.
When your luck's not in, it's not in, is it? Like Pickford's absolutely been fantastic for England. There's no disputing that, but he had a bit of a nightmare yesterday. He's had a bit of a nightmare since the start of the season, to be fair. And it's not looking good. I mean, I've got a video to show everybody soon once we're gone. I'll screen share after the break. I'll screen share, and I've got some bookmarks that I want to go through on Twitter of potential transfers, etc. We'll end Saturday on Aston Villa, 5:30 kickoff, hosted Arsenal. The stats show that Arsenal had 61% possession, Aston Villa's 39. Villa had more goal attempts, 11-9. Pretty even on the shots on goal, 4-3. And shots off goal, Villa had more, 5 to Arsenal's 4. But Arsenal win 2-0. Trossard scores in the 67th minute, followed by somebody who I didn't think should be playing, Thomas Partey in the 77th minute. A good result for Arsenal. I was hoping that they would get off to a slow start. I really didn't like them. But they haven't. They're doing well. And they're up there, aren't they?
They are, but I didn't, from what I've seen, it didn't look like the scoreline like reflected the game fully. Like, I mean, like Pete's saying, Watkins misses an open net practically. Rhea pulls a double save off. Villa had plenty of chances, so it looks more like it was points lost than out else. But they've scored 2 goals, the win, but Villa will probably feel a little bit hard done by there, I think.
It's a game that I thought could have went either way. I fancied Villa, to be fair. They got to win away at West Ham in the opening game of the season, and then they're hosting Arsenal in the opening Premier League fixture. I honestly expected them to get at least a draw, so Arsenal will be over the moon with that.
Oh, definitely.
Takes one.
If you're not playing at your best in it, if you're not playing at your best, but you're still getting points, that's what wins your championships in it. So, definitely.
I think Trossard will be important for them, because he's a good little player. He's a crafty little player. I like him. I do. And then that gets back to Brighton again. Their recruitment is absolutely unbelievable.
It is. I think they were saying the other day, what was it, 75 million for that starting team against us the other day?
I mean, they spent 230 million this window, like. So,
that Brighton fan was spoke to one us.
That Brighton fan was everybody, right? Me and Gary was sitting on the train on the way down to Brighton, and we're sitting next to this guy, and it turns out that he's the producer for but he's just done the Euros, he's doing the World Cup. We were talking to him, and he was good crack, wasn't he? He knew exactly what he was talking about. And he was saying that, like the owner, it's great, isn't it? Like what the owner's done and stuff, and how he's made his money, and then like he's invested in the club, and he says he gets the train to Brighton, and sometimes the owner's sitting opposite him. Like they could be sitting having a cup of tea in the middle of Brighton city centre, and he's walking by, and that's what you want, isn't it? That's like the closeness of a club. And it felt like that, didn't it? Didn't the whole lot? It did. It never felt like, It was really good. And I hope Brighton do well. You know, like, I really do, mate, because, you know, they're a good club. It's a good setup from bottom to top. He's took a gamble there on a 31-year-old man. Not bad about names. He's bad about reputation and, like, what they could potentially... It's another gamble, isn't it? He's taking gambles on players and it's paying off and he's making hundreds of millions. Now he's taking a gamble on the manager. He's got 2 games in there. They beat Man United and they beat Everton. You know, like, so far so good for the minute.
No,
Long way to
definitely.
continue. That would just flick through these quickly, Gary. It's quite a lot. Where was up? Daniel Thompson. Agree with Glenn. PSR has well shafted. What amazes is Chelsea still allowed to spend. We talked about that last week, didn't we? It's mental, isn't it? It is. It's bonkers. But obviously, these are intelligent men. And this is why I thought when you got took over, that because these are obviously very clever. They haven't become like really wealthy through being idiots. I thought they would have found a loophole or something, a feeder club where they could like generate a lot of money. That's got to be something they can do. But it seems like Newcastle's hands are totally tied. They can't even like spend 70 million on a defender that they really need. You know what I mean? It's mental, but you know,
I think it was it not because when the club was sold by Abramovich, I'm sure that it was like 3.6 billion or something, but the overall takeover was 4.6.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like £1 billion, but that had the part of the deal was that it had to be reinvested back into the club. Aye, so I think it's deep clever, isn't it?
Ross Armstrong, if Palace get back into that form from end of season, they will be easily in the top half of the league. 100%. 100%, Army. It will be price tag, Gary, says Billy Noble. Dale Redpath, Vardy and his Red Bull will get them through, lol. Did you see that? I love him,
he scored, like, didn't he, last week, so...
Aye, he played well. You see him going off to the Spurs, like...
Aye.
That's what you want to see, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about. Dave Armstrong, Harry, boys, how's it going? Very well, Dave. Thanks for joining me, pal. Lee Fairgrieve, hello, lads. We'll get you on later. Fair, you going to ring in? We'll have a big crack with Sunderland. I thought Ipswich played well, says Billy Noble. Lee Fairgrieve, SEFC, must have won, did they? Ooh, I'll come to that. Haven't lost, he says. Dale Redpath, Everton go down for me. Like, Brighton beat all the small teams, says Gallen. Pig Fat Eye, he's a good player, says Andrew Walton. Watkins missed a sitter. Johnny Birchall, get up, lads. Trossard is nothing on Johnny Evans, though.
You're right.
Johnny Evans would walk into Newcastle's centre-back, wouldn't he?
Aye.
Yes, put a foot wrong every time he's played for a woman. See what apart from like hitting the Seagull on the heat with his penalty, he's pretty decent, isn't he, when he plays? And I'll tell you what it is, he's better than any of them Newcastle centre-halves. They're useless. He walks into there. Trossard, very underrated, says Dale Redpath. Talk about the real news, Melly. Oasis back together. At least some positive news out of Manchester. Well, is it? Or are they just going to release an album or what? I mean, I like the song because it was on the end of, can you remember Our Friends in the North? that was the song that's in the end of Our Friends in the North, so I like them for that reason.
Did they not have the back-end? Did they not have the back-end song for the Hovis advert? No.
Same as Johnny Evans, Martin Gallen. Need 2 small teams, one Melly. Billy Noble, they had 1.7 billion was there for club improvements, which includes players apparently. Very, very clever. Walk in, that small club mentality, Melly. But it's the truth. If Johnny Evans signs for Newcastle tomorrow, he starts at the weekend. He starts. He can't get into our team, but he starts for Newcastle. 100%. Has Brighton ever finished above United? No. I don't think they have. Amanda Webb, 100% he has hoping. If Oasis, was that your little plug there, Melly? Yes, it was. And George Lex says Oasis is shite. Let's move on to Sunday. And if we can get Glen Essex to ring in, that'll be good crack as well. So Bournemouth won, Newcastle won. Tavernier, who obviously played for Cramlington Juniors when he was younger. He also had a spell at Newcastle before going to Middlesbrough Youth. Scores against Newcastle. You know, this is the kind of scouting that they need to be doing. Anthony Gordon signs for scores for Newcastle. Hold on, phone's ringing. Hello?
Melly.
Mr. Essex.
Gary, how's
You all
it?
right?
I'm not sure you'll be able to hear Gary, mate. I don't know why. He can hear you, but you can't hear him. We're still
2
set to
seconds.
fix that.
Technical difficulties.
No,
I can
no.
hear myself before that sound. 2 seconds. I've got you on the TV, Gary. 2 seconds. I can hear you.
You got him?
Ah,
So, Glenn, we're literally just on about Newcastle here. Newcastle
you
won.
look about Newcastle, man.
Eh?
You're talking about Newcastle, Melly. It's your part of the show.
I can't hear you. Glenn?
Can you hear us now, Melly?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Aye, but I'm echoing back for some reason.
Aye, that's all right. You're not echoing on the screen. That's the main thing.
Right, fair enough.
Aye.
I'm saying favourite part of the show when you're talking Newcastle.
Favorite part of the show. I do like it, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. So obviously Gordon equalizes for the Toon, and then the big controversy moment was the goal disallowed in the 90+ third minute, basically the last kick of the game. How did you see that, Glenn? Truthfully,
It's one decision that if it's against your club, you're human, but I mean, it is what it is. It's such a grey area. The handball, the t-shirt line, it's anybody really knows like what's the offline for it. You've got most pundits are 50-50. Was it handball? Was it not? At the end of the day, he's missed it completely. And it's a handball for me.
nah, you're not being honest there. Like, you're not like if that's against Sunderland. If that's against Sunderland,
the decision that if it goes against human,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
But,
Honestly,
I mean, to be fair, it was a poor performance from Newcastle, so it's overshadowed how poor we were, which probably isn't a thing.
I'm going to share my screen quickly, Glenn, just so people can see, just in case people cannot see.
I'll watch it now, sharing this. Now what's coming?
There you go. Look, there it is in plain sight. That is what they said was handball against the Bournemouth. Bournemouth player.
Just above himself, to me, to be fair.
Nah, you see, Glenn, you grew up in the same era as me, mate, man. That's not handball. Handball is touching your hand.
No.
Do you think you could have maybe give that look for the goal as a foul?
The goal disallowed because they were tied by the stroke arm.
Nah, for me, mate, that's like, I get it. If you're putting your hand out intentionally to stop it, fair enough.
I mean, he's missed the header, which is the main. He's completely missed the header.
Mm-hmm.
His arms across Burns' face, and it's went in off his arm.
Yeah.
The header would have been tackled, would it?
No, I mean, even the best ever player you ever had came online and said, "No way is that handball." I
Striker's
think
mentality. That. To be fair, Dan needs to be stronger there and just get his body.
But like you say, you were poor. Like, I mean, you had a good period in the game from about, I think it was about 60 minutes to 75, 80 minutes, where you did look dangerous and you could have went on to win it. But apart from that, mate, I think if you don't bring anybody in this next week, it's going to be a long, long season.
It is, but there's still plenty of them, and we have got to be sitting there for Mark, which they haven't actually rejected by what the media say. So I'm confident we'll get that tight before the transfer window shuts, and hopefully maybe get a winger on, because we desperately need someone to play a right wing. To be
What's
fair, when Anthony went right wing, when Harvey Barnes come on left back, that seemed like a little bit of a so maybe that's something with Anthony Gordon right wing, but
That's what I was going to say. You got Harvey Barnes. What's the matter with Almiron? Like, is he out of favour or what?
So,
Glenn,
what's that, mate?
is Almiron out of favour or what?
I mean, when you want to progress, Almiron had a, I mean, he's been at the club for 5 years or something now, 4 years. We're moving past the likes of Almirons, the Emil Kraft. But unfortunately, we're hands up and we cannot spend more money. We're the richest in the world. We can buy the Premier League twice I wanted, but we cannot spend.
So, with that being said, would you like everybody was on the moon that these bought Newcastle? You would have been better off with Mike Ashley, would you not?
Here we go, Melly.
No, but seriously, would you?
Where's your ego back there?
No, seriously. What's the point? You've got the richest owners in the world, right? But you can't deal out with it.
They will eventually.
The league, man, Melly. Protect the top 6. That's what it's always been like, and it's what it is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with the Champions League money that'll be accounts for last, that'll come into play soon. New sponsorships. Wait, it's gonna happen. We'll be able to spend soon, man.
Well, you will be able to spend it, but like, look at Man United, mate. It doesn't mean that you're guaranteed success. Like we have spent a fortune, and look at we're still in exactly the same boat, just about. So money doesn't guarantee success.
No, it doesn't.
It needs to be.
You look at the history of the Premier League. The team that comes the most generally tends to win. Look at Man United in the 90s and the 2000s could outspend everything. Which, I mean, if that's new, you're saying the buying success. It's always been the case. Whoever's the richest club buys success. But that's what happens.
I think that's changed massively now because, like when you're putting big money on players' heads, it kind of pushes them back. City's a prime example of that. They didn't spend big money, if you've noticed. They just didn't do it.
They started off spending massive money, and now they just need to buy one or two each window.
Yeah. But
so
I just think it puts too much pressure on the players now. Like same as Gooey, whatever he's called. If he comes in for 70, he's a 30 million player, if we're being honest. But because he's done well at the Euros.
Same with Declan last year. He's not 105 million player because he's English.
Aye. It's like an English tax.
Aye, English tax. For hype our players we always have done. So we'll pay more. If Mark Gay, he's French, we'll probably 35 mil.
It's true. It is. It's true. So Anthony must be English.
He's awful.
Glenn, just quickly,
he's trying to get his Ajax team back from 5 years ago.
Melly. Melly.
He's getting our object, isn't he?
Aye.
See if you can. I just want to see where he stands on obviously the new stadium thing for like Newcastle. Because obviously,
see that again? Gary, I've just turned you up on the TV. That's all.
Can you hear Gary?
So what I'm saying is back to like obviously to generate more money. Would you be with Newcastle building a new stadium?
Or Newcastle?
Aye, where you could build like hotels and that run the grounds.
Have 50% fans who want to stay at St James's and if we can. I mean, I know the club have looked into it, but look at Man City. They got a new team and they're fun. So if it moves the club forward, I'd happily have a new stadium.
Aye.
I mean, I would imagine these would probably be the same with Old Trafford. These would quite happily have a new stadium because Alan doing.
Not me, mate. Old Trafford's got. I can understand why you want this new stadium because you've got absolutely no history whatsoever. You've never seen a team win a trophy. Whereas Man United have won everything. My eyes have seen everything at Old Trafford. I do not want a new stadium. I want Old Trafford. It's still better than 90% of the Premier League stadiums by a mile. Yes, there was a bit of rain came in and stuff, but honestly, mate, it's everybody's final. It is. It's everybody's final. Old Trafford is still everybody's final. It's a great stadium to come to. And
No,
you know,
banter aside, Man United is the biggest club in the country.
yeah.
Not successful, but the biggest.
Aye, you're right. You really are. You're right. Like I say, and that's why we've struggled of late. Like since Fergie left, let's say, it's been a culmination of things. But mainly, it's because when people come to Old Trafford, that's their cup final. These teams that come up from the Championship, the fans, they get to come to Old Trafford. It's a massive day for them. Still to this day,
I think it's a hell of less of a thing now. Like, I don't think people look at Old Trafford Man United as this like massive game and in fear Man United anymore.
No, they come to Old Trafford to win. No, they never used to do that. Like you could guarantee nearly 3 points for us every game, but the teams come to win. But it's still a massive deal. So not only are they enjoying it and looking forward to coming, they're also thinking we could beat these today. That's where we're at.
I think it's a transitional period for a few different clubs. I mean, Liverpool as well. They're in
Liverpool,
new manager.
Yeah, I mean, I was at Brighton the end of last season, and these guys come up on bikes, and the one that we went to the game, and they were from Holland, and they said we got talking and stuff, and he said Arnie Slot is actually a much better coach than Eric Ten Hag. These are the Dutch kids, and they didn't support Feyenoord or Ajax. They said what Arnie Slot did with Feyenoord was unbelievable. Obviously, Ajax have got like the pick of the litter over there, and they're expected to do well, but Feyenoord aren't. He says, I mean, it didn't make our day when he was saying this, but I've not heard anything bad about Arnie Slot, to be fair, mate. And judging by the games that they've played, that they're playing quite attacking football, so it'll be an interesting game on Sunday.
It will. It looks like the top three: Liverpool, City, Arsenal, and then the playing for the fourth Champions League spot for me.
Obviously, I'm optimistic, me, and
still.
And I know we got beat, but we're playing well. If we can get Ugarte in a left back, I just think the togetherness is there again, and they want to play for the club. Whereas last season we had a lot of stragglers. He's getting rid of a few, which is just as important as bringing a few in.
Just signing stragglers, Melly. This is what I didn't get with the fans. Like, he used to be able to pick the best from every team, and now he's buying the cast-offs. Mm-hmm. Like, you're getting Bayern Dillet, who couldn't get a game at Juve, couldn't get a game at Bayern. Mazraoui's the same.
Mazraoui.
You're looking at Ugarte, you kind of get the PSG. It's like, what's happened here?
Mazraoui. Are you joking? Have you seen Bayern Munich? They're absolutely devastated. The fans that they've lost them. Dillet couldn't get a game at Juventus. Dillet was injured.
They probably don't even notice he's gone, man.
I'll tell you what it is. The Premier League's notices here, because there's not many better right backs in the Premier League now than him. Like, he's unbelievable, mate.
I haven't seen enough of him to judge, but like I say, he's used to, for the last 20, 30 years, you buy everyone's best, you would buy anyone you wanted, but now he's like I say, he's looking at the cast from these other big European clubs now.
Mm-hmm. Well, the success, I think, mate, was like the Premier League. Like if somebody had a good striker or something, we used to be able to just take them. We haven't got that. They haven't seemed to got that pull anymore. You're right. What you're saying there. So I think that's gonna change though. With the whole background's changed at Old Trafford, and I think they're starting to get it right now. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Well, listen, let's get off it quickly. Let's have a quick talk about because I know I'm gonna let you go, mate.
No worries,
you are now managing a team, is that right?
Assisting the management. So with AFC Newbegin on the Saturday, I have semi-retired with playing boots, and I was asked last season, I will snout at Newbegin. I proper enjoy it, mate. It's totally different view of football, being on the sides and helping out. So I am enjoying it, mate. It's good crack.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. It's and they're just getting stands and that doing it Newbegin, haven't they? Is that right? Is that the same one?
We little lad, you know very well from school and stuff. John Messenger is the chairman, and he's had a vision. There's a massive team. There's so many volunteers out. Like, And either stands there, we've got fights in. Hope in the next year or so there may be a clubhouse. We're hoping to get the funding sorted for. So it's big things for Newbegin. And
Good.
like I say, the local non-league football scene's bouncing. There's new team Linemouth. You've got Ellerton, Newbegin, Ashton. So
Good.
if anyone,
Me and Gary both sponsor
Premier League.
Me and Gary both sponsor a boat down there, and other people can do that, can't they, Glenn? If they want to.
It's 100 and I can't remember, I might get this wrong.
150 quid, I think, isn't it?
150 quid for a year or in 250 for 2 years. And you can message the page on Facebook for any inquiries, and it's possibly helped.
Mint.
The businesses like yourself will appreciate it massively.
What day do you play normally?
Well, at the minute, he's just started. It's Saturday and Wednesdays at the minute because it's midweek games in August. They try and get the midweek one while the weather's good. So
mint. And that's by in the leisure centre, isn't it, Glenn?
It is. It's the community hub, yeah, and you're in the sports.
Mint. Excellent.
And the plan is to be Friday night kickoff, so we're not clashing with the Premier League. So hopefully get some decent crowds in.
Oh, aye. Well, Glenn, I wish you all the best, mate. Appreciate you coming on and giving your honest point of view. We often have some good banter online.
Aye. It's been emotional, Melly. Appreciate it.
I wish you all the best for the season, mate. Thank you.
No worries.
See you later, Glenn. Ta-ra, mate.
Gary saying see you later. Ta-ra,
mate. In our 40s.
You will.
Ta-ra. Aye, that was Glenn Essex. Thanks for coming on, Glenn. Good crack. But Newcastle, obviously, in my eyes, very lucky to get the point. Didn't deserve it. Definitely not. But they did. They got it. And I'm getting messages saying, mind the gap. Let's move on quickly, Gary, because we've nearly done an hour already. Wolves 2, Chelsea 6.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Mental. Jackson obviously opens the scoring. And then we've got Kuna equalising for Wolves. Palmer with a cracking little finish, making it 2-1. Lawson scores before half-time to make it 2s each. And then it's the Chelsea show after that. Maduki, who was heavily linked with Newcastle, scoring a hat-trick within 15 minutes of the second half starting. And the new signing, but not new signing, João Felix finishing it off 6-2 to Chelsea.
Aye. Cole Palmer, like you say, with a goal, and I think he assisted all of the Maduki goals, didn't he?
Yeah.
What a player he is. And I don't know. I think Chelsea could be like the dark horse this season. I think that the crap at the back, but watching their goals back from this weekend, they get the ball from back to front so quick, and I think they're gonna cause trouble. Remember when they played against City last weekend? I mean, they had a lot of the ball, but they were trying to take everything through the centre of the pitch. Whereas, I don't know, they get it out wide. I think they've got some good players. I reckon they could be one for top 4.
Top 4, you reckon?
I think so, yep.
And everybody began off last week, and then everybody's saying, that's shit, like that.
I don't think they were shit.
Players? I think the manager coming out and saying, like, forget this shit about managing 40 players. I'm managing 21 players. I've told Sterling he's done. Which, to be fair, mate, honestly, that's been coming for a lot of years. He's a little huffy shit. I've never liked him. Not for England, not for City, not for Liverpool, and not for Chelsea. Honestly, I hope he gets to Saudi. Get out of here. If Chelsea do manage to turn it on and the manager manages to turn this round, then we've all got to be feared of them because they can, they've got a hell of a team there. They've got a lot of energy. Like you say, a little bit vulnerable at the back. But, good win for them, especially at Wolves, who were tips to be quite strong this season. It's hard going to Gantley. We normally only ever win 1-0 doing there.
No good win that 6 goals away on the road. You kind of grumble at that.
No. Finishing Sunday off was down in Anfield. Liverpool 2, Brentford 0. Luis Diaz scoring in the 13th minute, and then Mo Salah scoring in the 70th minute. Another good win for Liverpool. standings at the moment. You've only got Man City, Arsenal, Brighton, and Liverpool have won 2 and played 2 and won 2. Sorry, and then you've got the chasing pack of Tottenham, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest on 4. Chelsea are on 8th, joined by West Ham and Fulham and United, Villa and Brentford. That's the 13th. The bottom 3 is obviously Everton, Wolves, and Ipswich, with Crystal Palace and Southampton with no points on the board so far. Leicester's got 1. Bournemouth have 2. That is the Premier League. A good win for Liverpool. I don't think anybody expected any different, did they?
Nah, I think we both said that we fancy Liverpool to win that game, which you would expect against Brentford. But I don't know. I don't know what you're going to make of Liverpool this season. Like you say, new manager's coming in, and I think he's made a couple of changes in midfield and stuff. But I don't know. I hope we fail.
I'll just quickly touch on Sunderland as well, mate, before we're gone, because Sunderland obviously beat Burnley 10 men at the end as well. Sunderland, I think, are probably surprising even their own fans, if they're being honest with ourselves. They didn't expect this kind of start. They beat Burnley 1-0, obviously. Armando scores. I think Jack Clark's leaving, though, isn't he? He's gone to Ipswich, which
20 million or something.
20 million is a good little income. Dean Neal gets sent off for Sunderland. So basically, the standings is Sunderland are top of the league. Played 3, won 3, and they've got 9 points along with Watford. A dream start for Sunderland. Not so good for Middlesbrough. I mean, they got off to a winning start, but they got beat at the weekend. No, they drew at the weekend with Portsmouth 2-0. Sorry. Sunderland fans kind of be upset with that. It's an absolute dream start. And I'm sure a lot of Newcastle fans will want them to continue, so they come up and they get that derby game back. Do you know what I mean, mate? It's
you would think so, but but there's quite a few people like you speak to that didn't want them back up, and I cannot see why you wouldn't, but you know.
You know the toon. They're playing for Nout every year, aren't they? Playing for Nout. You want at least to have a derby, haven't you?
Aye. Well, aye.
100%.
The best years, aren't they? They're the best years derbies.
Right, we've covered the Premier League. We're gonna do the second half of the show. We'll do our predictions, a little bit of transfer news, and then end it on our fantasy football league for those who joined. Gary, we've done an hour already, man. That's mental. We've got to keep going. We've got to see the show, haven't we?
And again, like anyone that wants to join, if you could, I don't know if you can put the link on, can you, or get people to join on that have an hour about it.
Give us a message. If you want to get on. However, we'll have a bit crack. Yeah, well, here's the adverts. I'll be 2 minutes. Get a drink. If you'd like to advertise with us, like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only a $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Beds, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited, based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk, or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com, or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. Mates Rates Pro Cleaning, professional internal and external cleaning, both residential and commercial. Follow them on all social media platforms or call Nick on 07423 33496 during working hours. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 07787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then sorry, I had it on loop. Add Gary back to the stage. Thanks for sticking with it. Please do use those guys who advertise with it. All local companies. Gary, coming up, we've got the AFL Cup. We're not going through it because all the small teams are in there. But it's happening on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, along with the Europa League and the Champions League qualifiers. So the Premier League this week, starting on Saturday, Arsenal against Brighton. How do you see that going, mate?
Tricky game, but I think Arsenal will beat them. I'd say at home. You said
Arsenal's at home, aye.
You've got to fancy Arsenal to beat them. I think be a close game, like, but I think 2-1.
I'm going to go on ones each. Brighton looks strong. I think Arsenal will drop the first points of the season, and Brighton will come away with a draw. Next up is Brentford against Southampton. How do you see that going, Gary?
Comfortable win for Brentford, I think. I think it'll be two or three. Again, unless they get a signing, I think they're going to struggle for goals. So I think that'll be 2 or 3-0.
2 or 3-0. Yeah, I'm probably going to go in for 2-1. I see it a little bit closer. I don't know why. I think Southampton will get their first goal of the season. I think they'll take the lead, and then Brentford will come out and win 2-1. Everton against Bournemouth, mate. Everton at home. Four.
I'm going to see a draw. Draw for that one. Two poor teams, but we'll see.
I'm going to go on Everton to get beat 2-0. I cannot see it getting any better anytime soon. The players look down. The mood's down. It's not going well. Bournemouth, will feel unlucky not to come away with 3 points from their last game, and rightly so. So I'm going to go for a Bournemouth win there. Next game is Ipswich against Fulham.
Ipswich against Fulham. Ipswich at home. I mean, like people have said in the chat, Ipswich they haven't looked bad. I'm gonna get a 1-1 draw because I think Fulham's going to be all right as well.
All right, I'm gonna go for 3-1 to Fulham. I think they're strong. Obviously, Ipswich is at home. It's the best chance of winning the game, really, of the opening fixtures.
Gone 2-1. Gallen's gone 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I'm just gonna flick through these actually because we'd like to get everybody's opinions on it. Actually, I forgot about that. Cheers, Gary. Right, so Gallen's gone 3-0 for Arsenal. He's also gone 2-1 for Brentford. Billy Noble has gone 2-0 to Arsenal and 3-1 to Brentford and 0-0 with Everton. Gallen went 2-1 to Everton. He's gone 2-1 for Fulham, and Billy Noble has gone 2s each. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Fulham win. Next up, we've got Leicester against Aston Villa.
Leicester Villa. Leicester. You've got to fancy Villa, I think. I'm going to say a 2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa?
Yep.
Aye. I think I'm going to go on the opposite. I think I'm going to go on 2-1 Leicester.
Aye?
Aye. I am. I just need to quickly think this because this has just distracted us a little bit. Billy Noble has put on, do you lads like getting humped off City every year? Be the same for Sunderland. Billy, mistake us if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure by the last game, Sunderland won the last 6 against you. But mistake us if I'm wrong in the comments, mate, please. Thank you. Liam Crisp, 3-1 to Villa, he's saying. So is Martin Gallen saying exactly the same, as is Billy Noble. Andrew Johnson has gone for 1-0 to Villa. Hello, Andrew. And Dave Armstrong is going for Leicester 1, Villa 1. Let's move on. Nottingham Forest against Wolves.
I think they'll come back from that heavy defeat at the weekend. I think they're going to get a 2-1 win.
Aye. Right,
Yep.
I'm going to go against you again. I'm going to go 2-1 to Forest. The heart to beat it to him.
They are for us. They are for us.
They are for us, aye. Gallen's gone for a 2-2 score draw. Liam Crisp's also gone for a score draw. He's saying ones each. Wait on the OS to come in. Well, we'll wait.
Probably be a close game.
It will be a close game. West Ham, Manchester City travelled down to West Ham. Billy Noble has gone ones each. Dave Armstrong's gone 2-1 to Forest. Get them in quickly. West Ham against Man City. 5:30 kick-off next weekend. How do you see it going, Gary?
I cannot see anything but a Man City win. Like I say, I mean, and West Ham got a 2-0 win, but I mean, I fancy City to win comfortably there. I think 3-0.
I'm going to go on 2s each. I'm going to say you've been a score draw. City drop the first points of the season. Liam Crisp doesn't think so. He thinks it's going to be 2-0 to City, as does Martin Gallen. He thinks it's going to be 3-1 to City. So does his mate Dave Armstrong. Also 3-1 to City. Andrew Johnson's gone for 2s each, like me. And Billy Noble has gone for 4-0 City. Like you say, a lot of people will not be able to see anything other than Man City win. Sunday brings us to the most important day. First off, though, you've got Chelsea against Crystal Palace.
Oh, I think Chelsea will win that game. But I think again, I think there could be a lot of goals in that game. I'm going to say 3-2 Chelsea because I think Palace will score.
I'm going to go for Chelsea. I took them in the last man stand, and I think they'll just be, a little bit too strong judging off the last performance. I'm going to go 2-1 to Chelsea. In the group chat here, we've got Crispy is saying 3-0 to Chelsea. Martin Gallen saying 2-1 to Chelsea. Billy Noble has gone 4-1 to Chelsea. And Dave Armstrong has gone 2-1 to Chelsea. So a lot of support there for Chelsea on the group. Next up, you've got Newcastle against Tottenham. Obviously, Newcastle's got a very good record against Tottenham at St. James's. Tottenham fans have left early the last 2 visits. How do you see this game?
Like you say, on the past games, Newcastle generally do all right against Spurs. I think be a close game. I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1.
1-1. I think Newcastle might get something out of the game.
Look at this. Everybody screenshot this. Screenshot that, please. I'll leave it on for a couple of seconds. Martin Gallen, Newcastle United executive box owner, has gone for Spurs to win 5-0. Unbelievable, Jeff. Absolutely unbelievable. Billy Noble has gone 5-2 to the Real United. I haven't gotten there yet, Billy. They're next, mate. Gone 3-1 to Newcastle. Andrew Johnson has gone 4-0 to the Toon. Billy Noble saying ban Gallen. Dave Armstrong has gone 2s each. Gallon's retracted and put out the fishing rods. And Lee Fairgrieve is saying 5-0 Spurs or Toon scupper one off the bar, then the post, then the corner flag and roll in off their arm, and they're giving it because Michael Owen in high places. No, I'm joking. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs. I think Newcastle's been poor so far, and I think they're going to get funded against a half-decent team this weekend. Man United against Liverpool, the big one. To end the weekend, the 4 o'clock kickoff. How do you see this, Gan? I'm looking forward to the comments on this. I really am.
5-0 to Man U. No, I think
it all. We won the lot.
Gallon's got 3-1, Man U.
We're never going to stop. Ole, ole. Oh, look at this. Martin Gallon, Man United 3, Liverpool 1. William Chris, 3-1 to the Real United. You liked it. Billy Noble has gone 4-0 to Liverpool. Dave Armstrong has gone 3-1 to Liverpool. Is there any more to come? I'm going to go for 2-1 United. I think it'll
I'm seeing the same. 2-1.
I think it'll be a close game. Are you going 2-1 United?
Aye.
Andrew Johnson's gone 2-1 to the Pool. It's going to be close either way. I don't think it's going to be a cricket score. 3-1 to the Muslim supporters group, says Martin Gallen. Right, let's move on quickly. I'll share my screen with you. Yeah, we're gone. We'll go on to X. Yeah. Where we're right. Can you see that? Is that on, aye?
Aye.
Oh. No, right. Is that on, Gary?
Yep.
Excellent. Right, here we're going. At All Ireland Square, the Vitality. Bournemouth thought they scored a last-minute, last-gasp winner through Dangle Utwara. VR intervened, and the effort was disallowed for handball. We've touched on that, and I think all Newcastle fans actually agree with it, but they cannot because it was for their team. But I think they're not deep down. That's a shocking handball. As does, hold on, let's quickly flick the bit. Where is he? Oh, yeah, we got.
And Paul Mitchell, the sporting director and chief executive, the Darren Eales and Paul Mitchell, the sporting director and chief executive, they need to do something in the next week because they cannot go into September without bringing a big signing to Newcastle. I think that
what do they need, Al? What do they need?
Need to bring Mark Gay in. They need to have a statement signing. It would be really embarrassing for those two in particular who have been not promoted but who are now running the football club, for them to go into September without bringing a big hitter or a big statement signing in.
Times, isn't it, Al?
I think would look really, really poor on those two.
Yeah, it's worrying times at Newcastle, that's for sure. That wasn't what I was going to show you. It was this year. A lucky point is that's an awful decision. Ari handball, says Shearer. Never handball for me. Fabrizio Romano has said that Mejbri has completed a medical today at Burnley and joins on a permanent deal instead of loan with obligation to buy. Good news for Manchester United. Clear in the decks. I wish him luck. I wish him well. I really do. It's the same as this man here. Wears his heart on his sleeve for Manchester United. Scott McTominay is subject all parties being satisfied in player terms, 30 million plus percentage of the future sale. Important for MUFC FFP compliance. Manuel Ugarte, a potential signing, will be aided by 27-year-old's exit. Crystal Palace considering move to sign Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal. 25-year-old did not proceed with Nottingham Forest switch despite NFFC and AFC agreeing up to 30 million. This is interesting, Gary. Fabrizio Romano, a flick on Danny Olmo, still not being registered by Barca. Any player who can't participate due to not being registered won't be happy, but he understands the situation we are in. Interesting. Liverpool are looking to buy a new goalkeeper. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. They've got the best keeper in the world. They're looking to sign this guy for 35 million plus a sell-on clause. Looks like he's joining from Valencia. Obviously, I've just mentioned this. United are very close. He's lately put on that it's looking even closer. Sorry, I got distracted there because Andy Mitten, in fact, we'll end with that. But this one here, what do you make of this? Everton arriving at the train station. Yes.
Jesus.
Fucking 80 grand a week, you fucking.
We'll talk about that quickly, but I just quickly want to say rest in peace to Sven Goran Eriksson, who left us today. Sven was, with his love for Liverpool, was set to replace Sir Alex at MUFC in 02. Didn't happen. 6 years later, as MCFC boss, he laid a reef at Old Trafford around 50th anniversary of Munich. Then he embraced Ferguson on the pitch. He got it spot on. It just tells you what type of bloke Sven was, and I hope he rests in peace.
Aye, sad news.
Yeah. Regarding that Everton, quickly, mate, what do you make of that? Do you think that's justified, or do you think they've gone too far?
Yeah, I mean, people have got the right to criticise players, but I think when they're just trying to get the train back, like it's borderline harassment, and it's just voice your opinions like in the stadium or something, not like chasing them into a train station. They're just human beings at the end of the day, trying to get you. Like I say, you pay your money so you can criticise them, but shooting our barriers like that at people, I don't think it's on.
Yeah.
Scousers, so what do you expect?
Aye, fair dues. I mean, I just get heated a bit, and I should really stay off Twitter normally afterwards, because normally I'm about a few deep, and your emotions do take it's taking it to another level, actually. Like, people are saying they get paid enough money, you should be able to take it, but, they're still human beings at the end of the day. I just think it was ridiculous. A couple of messages on here. The only person to turn Fergie down is on about Shearer. I'll tell you a fact quickly, since you're not quite genned up on football. He was actually joining Man United until Newcastle improved their offer and improved the wages. And then he decided he was a Geordie and wanted to come to Newcastle. It was money, mate. That's what it was. Nothing to do with Newcastle. It was money. Plain and simple. But he sent you down anyway in the end, so it doesn't really matter. Are they planning on getting HOWE sacked? Heart before money. Obsessed is Glenn Essex. Lads, you cannot still be obsessed with Big Al. Absolutely not, mate. If you take his penalties away, he's just another Darren Bent. Says Dave Armstrong, as does Amanda Webb. Just putting people off signing for Everton, says Gallen. I think so, Gallen. A couple of photos quickly that we got sent in there. That we got sent in over the weekend. I mean, the first one's obviously me and Gary down in Brighton, as always, following my team, home and away. The second one was Martin Gallen and Sonny Armstrong boarding their private jet. Great flag they've got, by the way. Rest in peace, Philip Sim. Again, lads following their team to the other end of the country. And we only had one more. Hopefully we get a few more next week. It was Terry Haglington with Joe Linton. Joe and Nets there. Maybe better than what he was up front. Yes. Same way Rooney went to Man U when he was meant to come here. Honestly, that was a gift that keeps on giving these on, aren't they, Gary? Hey, absolutely amazing that game. That's coming of the night, that. Hey, absolutely brilliant. I must have seen for your eyes, only just opened or something. Hey, lads, Dave, absolutely tremendous. Hey, we'll quickly end it, right? Brilliant.
Listen,
I've been trying to sign up to this, what do you call it, Gary? And I don't know what I've done. So I can get what hold on, bear with us 2 minutes and I'll get what fantasy league up. Just quickly, Gary, you play for the over 40s, didn't you? Do you want to tell people about the over 40s?
What's up, mate?
You want to tell people about the over 40s? Because you play for the over 40s, didn't you?
Well, I've been once. I'm a busy. I'm too busy following Man United on the country. But I've just signed for Woodholm Lane. Like Glenn mentioned before there. Fazza's the man, like, isn't he? Where's Fazza?
I mean, if you're over 40, that's why, man. Because it needed a special character. And right, if you're over, then you can get in touch with Fazza. Because I think they've got about 7 leagues strong, haven't they?
Oh, there's tons of people playing in our 40s now.
Aye. It's a good league, to be fair. Obviously,
Alan's saying he might join in 5 years when he hits the big 40.
Who, Colin?
Aye.
Right.
Still waiting on this game of 6-a-side, aren't we?
We're in. Eh?
We're still waiting on this game of 6-side.
I know they need to get that sorted. I'm going to share my screen again. This is for the Fantasy Football League. If you never know what we're talking about, have a look at the previous post on Talking Turf. The link's on there. Get yourself a team added. Get into the group, and we'll have a big crack through the season about it. Share. That should work. Have we got it?
That's it.
Right. So bear with us, because this is the first time I've done this. We had quite a good do you know where I got on here, Gary, to get what league up? We had a good response, didn't we?
Hey, you clicked on fantasy there.
Fantasy. Yeah. And then
should
the
be
team of the week. So we're going through the team of the week. Rhea was a net. Romero, Kilman, Iana, Maduki, Palmer, Son, Louis Diaz, De Bruyne, Haaland, and Jackson. If you had any of them in your team, then you have definitely getting points. We're going to go down to the league where everybody joined. If I can find it. I will get better at this. Just bear with us. Where have I got any new?
I think that's different. Aye.
Yeah, leagues and cups.
And then Talking Turf.
I can't believe I'm 22. Anyway, yeah, we had 23 people came in. Top in the league at the minute is Scott Appleby. Would drop it like it's slot. There's some excellent names in here, by the way. Eddie Towers is in second. We're not exactly sure. Mint name. Live Spartan. Nice and original there from Walton. Go up McNeil Deal. Lewis Chaplin sitting in fourth. Neil Wallace with Randoms is in fifth. Green Goose FC. David Armstrong in sixth. Street Boys Strikers. Anthony Street is in seventh. Cookies All Stars is in eighth. Harry Cook. Colin Stocks with FC fucking Hopeless is in eighth. United for Gary Brewerton is in 10th. I don't know how he's above me. Good name for Dobie. Game of Throw-ins, excellent, is in 11th. Davey, Liam Crisp is in 12th. Brazilian Gary Dodds is in 13th. Paqueta Chips, Jimmy Craig is in 14th. Bayern never losing. Darren Percy's in 15th. Petrol powered Y fronts. Paul Davison's in 16th. Outcast from Martin Gallon's in 17th. Tyndall's Mad Dogs. Connor Potts is in 18th. Eric Ben Hag, Ben Irvine is in 19th. Kinder Mbieno with Josh Robson's in 20th. Doug's Mugs, Ian Douglas is 21st. 10+1 Hags, me is 22nd. I honestly can't understand that. And in 23rd is Jack Barnes. I knew I
Wait, click on your team. Click on your team and we'll see.
Here's my team, right? Rhea in nets, who made like probably one of the best saves, double saves the Premier League's ever seen. I went for Ben White, Saliba, Gavardiol, and Livramento in defense. Gordon on the left, Bruno and De Bruyne on the middle, with Palmer on the wing, and Gakpo and Xerxes up front. That's probably how I'm thinking, like, because I've got them two up front. I have changed it for this week, like. I've took somebody out and put somebody else in. Can we go back? Can I go back? Yeah. Yes. So drop it like it's slot. Scott Appleby is topping the league with this team. Ryan Nets, he's gone for back three. Harwood, Bellis, Vardiol, Robinson with Salah, Diogo Jota, Smith Rowe, and Eze in the middle. Isaac, Wood, and Haaland. I think anybody who captained Haaland this week is in the top 10 on them.
Aye.
Absolutely. I just haven't got it in us to put him in. I just didn't like the bloke. This is my winner of the name competition. I don't know about but Zabi, Liam Crisp, absolutely fantastic. Pickford Net, Dalot, Gavardiol, Davis, with Garnacho, Gordon, Gibbs, White, and Eze, Isaac, Watkins, and Haaland up front. Not a bad little team. We'll have a quick look at Martin Gallons. It'll probably just be all the toon. Well, look. I was right. Nearly. Martinez and Nets, Trippier, Gabriel, Bradley, and Cash, Gordon, Smith Rowe, and Winks, Isaac, Haaland, and Fulkrug. I think that Fulkrug will do all right, you know.
No, he's a decent player, isn't he?
I think he'll come good.
What's Dave's name, Melly?
Eh?
What's Dave Armstrong's name on there? Because he's saying you don't want to know the reason behind my name.
Let's have a look. Yours is Raya, Pau, Tillman, Lewis, and Van der Ven. Fernandez, Menu, Bernardo Silva, and Ahmad in the middle, with Isaac and Haaland up front, captain Haaland. If you hadn't captain Haaland, mate, you're bottom of the league.
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Give a watch.
Where's he?
Kilman was in team of the week, wasn't he?
Who?
Kilman, he was in team of the week, so was Rhea.
Was he?
Aye.
Green Goose FC.
Green Goose.
Should we report an offensive name? Hey. I'm gonna watch a couple of YouTube videos on what people do, you know, when
they're bottom.
No, you know, when they're doing the fantasy football, so we can do it and I can learn off that, you know, because I think that'll be good crack through the season. Bye, United. Cheers, lads. I might join in 5 years when I hit the big 40, like you said, but I'm not going to Hartlepool for a 2-minute run out. Hey, Dave, how are you? Tell me the reason behind the name. I need to know, don't I? Even if it's off camera, if he puts it in the WhatsApp group, I need to know. But listen, we've done an hour and 22 minutes, Gary.
Yep.
Good crack, that.
Aye.
You enjoy that?
I did. Happy days.
Excellent. Let it go in. Sweeten more lass up. I'll tell her I'll be in for 8.
Yeah, only 20 minutes late.
Story of my life. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining. It's been good crack, and we'll just continue to get bigger and better over the weeks. Next week, it'll also be Monday because we're away. Technically, what do you call it? Actually, we're away to Liverpool. We're away at Old Trafford, sorry, to watch Man United Liverpool on the Sunday. So, same time next Monday, Gary?
Same time, aye.
Aye. Excellent. Cheers, Paul. Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Take care.
See you later.
See you later. Ta-ra.